Hello, Facebook, and we are live for another round of Becoming She Who Handles Business, but today's a little bit different. Yes, it's a little bit different because today is my birthday. So happy birthday to me. I'm super excited today, y'all. I'm just in a place of awe today. I woke up with such an excitement and such a joy and such a peace. And then we got on the prayer call and it was so powerful and just amazing. And so I'm so excited. Hold on one second. McKinley. Hush. I'm on the live. Close my door. I'm on the live. So as you can see, real time, I am a mom. And yeah, anyways, jumping back into it. So I'm super excited today because I recognize one of the greatest gifts that God has given me this year has been what I get to show up and do every day. The way that I get to show up and serve the people. And that's not a discredit to the gift of life, the gift of my children, the gift of my family and friends, the gift of all of those things. Not discrediting any of those things. But this morning, I remember when I got on the prayer call this morning, one of the ladies was like, I'm just so grateful for you and the way that you showed up this morning, even though it was on your birthday. You could have decided not to have the prayer call or had somebody else do the prayer call, but you decided to be here. And it was like, what? I wouldn't even think of not showing up today because it's such a gift to be able to do what you know God has called you to do in a specific season and to be filled by it. To be able to pour out and share and love on other people and know that when you walk away, you're not walking away empty because God is pouring into you the exact same way. So I'm excited just to be able to celebrate my birthday knowing that I'm doing what God has called me to do in this season, knowing that it's impacting people. We had 2 more people from Africa show up on the prayer call this morning, amongst all the other women that continually show up. And I'm just grateful and so blessed that God allows me to have such an amazing gift of what my business and what my life and my ministry looks like right now. And so I'm grateful. But I wanted to share with y'all today a little bit different than what I have been sharing on, because we've been talking about business and things like that. But I wanted to come in and share what I shared on our prayer call today. And I was talking about my birthday and I was talking about how this year was year 33 and how significant year 33 was to me in reference to understanding that Jesus Christ, and I'm not a comparison to him, and I mentioned this on my post this morning, but his 33rd year was the year that he really stepped into everything that he had been preparing for. And for a lot of us, this is the year that we are stepping into everything that God has been preparing us for. We've had the different years where God has showed us glimpses of different things that he wanted us to do. We've had years where we may have dibbled and dabbled in, our calling and things like that. But I'm believing 100% this year that if you say yes to God and the things that he is asking of you this year, that he is going to radically blow us away. And I'm believing that because of what I'm seeing. I'm believing that because of the evidence that he's been showing me throughout this year. And I see that somebody is here live. So say hello. Let me know that you are watching me, so that I can say hello back to you. If you're watching the replay, drop in a replay and then drop a happy birthday, because y'all, I'm absorbing all of the birthday love today. But yes, so we've experienced those seasons where God has shown us evidence and shown us examples of the things that he wants to bring through us. And for different reasons, we've decided not to move forward and not to execute and not to stand in authority and not to expand, right? Because there's a cost. There's a cost to our yes. There's a cost to us being able to stand boldly and move in the things that God has given us in reference to our businesses and that vision that you have on the inside of you. And the requirement is that, we go through a process. But I'm believing this year I get to say yes to the process, and I get to experience all that he has stored up for me. I get to experience all the things that I've been waiting on. And I believe that for you too. And so I just wanted to encourage you today. I didn't want to do a whole lot of teaching today, but I wanted to encourage you today to be bold and be courageous in everything that God is placing in front of you. You already know that you are called for this. You already know that you are equipped to handle all that God is giving you. You already know that he has laid the foundation. He has gone before you and made a way. You know that he's putting people in place that he's going to allow to walk alongside of you. The funds are being made available. Everything is being made available, but you have to be willing and ready to say yes. And so First Chronicles 28:20 says, David also said to Solomon his son, be strong and courageous and do the work. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord God, my God, is with you. He will not fail you or forsake you until all the work for the service of the temple of the Lord is finished. And that's what I'm believing for myself. And it's also what I'm believing for you. If we are willing to be strong, if we are willing to be courageous, if we are willing to do the work, then God's going to fulfill every promise that he's already made to us. It says that he will not fail you or forsake you until all the work for the service of the temple of the Lord is finished. Understand that this business, if you're a kingdom woman entrepreneur, this business that you have started is for the glory of the Lord, right? And so knowing and understanding that it's his work that we're doing, and it's his service, it's the work for the service of the temple of the Lord. He's going to see it through to fruition as long as we operate in obedience, as long as we stick through, as long as we do our part. He's going to do his. But we have to be able to show up. So I encourage you this year, like, tap back into those visions. Like, go back and listen to the videos that I have already posted about vision and about purpose and things like that. Tap back into it and say, okay, God, what is it that you want from me in this season? What is this supposed to look like? What is it that I have not been, standing in authority in? What is it have I not been saying yes to and giving you my full-blown yes so that I can truly see what it is that you want to come out of this season? Asking him, getting clarity on that, asking what it looks like, asking for the first steps. What's the move? What do I need to do? How do I show up? How do I execute this thing, right? Not just saying, okay, God, this is what you want from me. I'm going to run and go do it on my own. But Lord, how do you want this thing to look and come into fruition? Allowing him to lead you in every step in the way. Like, this is where I am right now. And I'm not going to say that everything looks perfect. I'm not going to say that everything is flowing the way that I want it to flow. But what I am going to say is that I have peace from God. What I am going to say is that I have confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. What I am going to say is that I have joy of the Lord, knowing that I am working on something that he gave me, something that he designed, and that I get to be blessed with the opportunity to build this thing out and to partner with God with what he's doing in my business and what he's given me. My business is a blessing from him. My business was a gift that he created, and he said, you know what, Shamandrian, I designed this for you. This business is what I have in store for you, because I know that everything that you need is wrapped up in this business. Every person that I've called that needs you, all of that stuff, I've already wrapped it up and packaged it perfectly. But I need you to say yes, and I need you to be obedient, and I need you to stand bold and courageous in all that I've called you to do so that you can execute this thing. And that's what I'm expecting throughout this year. So this is my year 33. It doesn't matter what year you're in, but let this be the year that you say yes, and you start operating from that space of confidence and courage and strength, and you stand boldly in everything that God has called you to do. One of the ladies that was on the prayer call this morning brought up imposter syndrome, and she said that she was doing a speaking engagement, And someone spoke after her and said that we have to stop speaking imposter syndrome over ourselves. And she broke that thing down. She said that imposter means fake, right? Imposter means fake, and syndrome means sick. Okay? So she said that when you call yourself, or when you speak over yourself, that you have been bound by imposter syndrome, then she said that you are speaking that you are a sick fraud over yourself. Come on. Oh my goodness. When I say that freed me so much, because we think about imposter syndrome and we're like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm not qualified. I feel like I'm not, in a space of authority, or I don't have enough validation. I don't have enough expertise to be able to show up and give whatever God told me to. But Moses felt the exact same way. There's so many people in the Bible that God told to go do a thing, and they were like, Lord, me? You want me to do that? I'm not qualified to do that. I'm not, I don't have the experience to do that. Who am I to go do that? But everyone that trusted him, that stood strong and courageous and bold, saw the fruition of what God had already put in place. But it just required their yes and their submission and their action, right? And so I pray that this has been, I know it was short, but I hope that it was encouraging to you. In whatever season that you're in business, like there's another level available. There's another level available. We are only operating on 20% of our capacity most of the time, right? And there's so much more available. And so when we tap in and we say, okay, this is the season where I'm letting go of my fears. This is the season where I'm letting go of my doubts. This is the season that I'm letting go of my insecurity. And I'm going to get clear on what God has for me to do. I'm going to be intentional about how I show up. I'm going to be committed. Sometimes the reason that we are not seeing the fruition of the things is because we're not fully committed to the thing. We can commit to everybody else's stuff. And I'm speaking to myself too, y'all. We can commit to everybody else's stuff. And sometimes we just need to elevate our commitment to what God has given us, right? How committed are you to show up continually, consistently, and in power and in strength and with confidence, right? So that's all the things that I wanted to share. Get clear on what God is calling you to do in this season of your business. Let go of those things that have been limiting you. Believe like God sent you there. Believe like it's already done. Operate that way. Show up that way. Show up like you have the authority that God said you have. Show up knowing that what you've been through, what you've experienced, what you're called to share has lives attached to it. There are people that are waiting, and we've heard this all 1,000 times. I'm not sharing nothing new today. We've heard this all 1,000 times. But what if this is the year that God said, I'll just do according to your faith? I'll just do according to your faith. Daughter, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you're believing for, whatever it is that you need, I'll do according to your faith. If you will say yes to me, then I'll say yes to you. And I can guarantee you that my yes farly surpasses all that you could imagine and think of. That's what I'm believing for. Journey, I'm here too. Hop into the She Handles Business community, and I can walk alongside of you with all the other amazing women that are doing life and business with me in our community and space. So I hope you have an amazing day, and always remember, you can handle it. Bye.